how to automate business processes using standard operating procedures. If you tried to automate before and it backfired, this is why. I'm going to tell you how one document can mean the difference between chaos and clarity. Stick around to see how we can build a hands-free system using this exact method. So by the end of this video, you will learn how to create automation using well-documented standard operating procedures so you can reduce time, reduce errors, and scale efficiently. Many people are trying to automate their processes. The problem is that you cannot automate something that you haven't defined. AI, technology, automation cannot just guess what needs to be automated. You have to define and give instructions. And that is the key differentiator between workable technology and unworkable technology. Workable automation and unworkable automation. It has to be defined first. You have to know where you're starting, what problem you're trying to solve, and where you're going. In order to automate, you have to have well-documented processes and procedures. That's the first step. So if you already have processes and procedures in place and you're asking, how can I automate them? Review them. Make sure that the processes are well written, step by step, so you can identify places where you can automate them. If you don't have them written, then write them first. Identify the workflow, write a process step by step, so then you can identify the steps that you can automate. The next step is to identify repetitive, rule-based steps. If you have that, those are the easiest to automate. Those are the first ones that I would recommend, the low-hanging fruit. For instance, here's a simple example. Let's say you're recording a meeting with a client on Zoom, and then you want to store the recording in a folder so you can refer to it later. You can use a tool like Zapier in order to connect Zoom to OneDrive or to Google Drive and extract the file and put it there. It can create a naming convention. There can be different things that can be done, and then you have it, and instead of, let's say, your assistant doing it and spending 2-3 hours a week, it's done without it, and now we have 2-3 hours that are free to do something else. So when you audit your standard operating procedures, you're going to see many of those tasks that can be automated. Another example is, let's say you audit your standard operating procedure about how to do a client intake, and one of the steps is to enter them into your financial system, and another step is to enter them into your CRM system. So obviously, this is the same information or repetitive information, and I've seen clients in the past have a team member do it manually, enter all the information into their estimating software and then enter the information into their desktop accounting software. That took a long time, and it has also opens the door to errors. There is an area that can be automated very easily and should be. So as you go through your standard operating procedures, identify those places where there are repeatable tasks that might be prone to error done by human as opposed to a machine that will basically needs to duplicate the same thing over and over, and it can happen fast. After you're done that, then go over it again and ask yourself, where am I spending the majority of my time that an AI can help me accomplish it faster? And then you can find the tools that will solve it. As an example, you are having a meeting with a potential customer. After the meeting, you have to write a proposal. That can take hours. And even if you're recording your notes, you have to go over the notes, you have to decide in which order you're going to put it in, etc., and then think about it and do research perhaps. Now, if you had it all automated, it would be much faster. But the question is, how can you automate it so it still sounds like you and not like AI that can vary the results every single time? That is where a well-documented process comes into place. So if you have a well-documented sales process where you ask the same questions every single time, and then you match the questions to the template of your proposal, you can actually then integrate the automatic note taker into the proposal template, and you'll get a proposal written. Caution: do not send a proposal without actually reading it and changing it, because it's still, a lot of it has to do with you, the human touch, the human understanding. However, you can contract the time from hours to 15 to 30 minutes, where it really needs your understanding and your mind and your input. And then think about it, you can write 10 proposals a day as opposed to 1 or 2. And that is the power of having well-documented processes that you can then automate. There are many tools out there, many tools. And it can be confusing, it can be overwhelming, and it can be very tempting to use the newest tool. I know I love to experiment and explore new software, and this can be a good tool, or that one, or that one. But again, it all has to be integrated. It has to be integrated with your existing tech, and it has to resolve a problem. It has to solve a problem. It has to give you more time, not spend more time on something that looks like the newest shiny object, which is not the right tool. So therefore, you have to have well-documented processes which will give you the blueprint of where you need to go, and the AI is the tool to make it happen. Automation depends on clarity, and clarity depends on having very clear standard operating procedures. The next video will walk you through how to design standard operating procedures that not only document your process, but actually allow automation to work. I'm Adi. I'm a process consultant. I've helped many entrepreneurs scale their businesses. I have many more videos that you can benefit from, so subscribe to my channel.